A few weeks ago, I posted an update that shared a recent amateur radio activity as well as my plan to attend more car shows with my communications exhibit. And you can see some of it right here behind me. I will tell you more about that in another video. Anyway, I went to Eurofest at Maggie Valley in North Carolina, and that was easily the largest VW show on my schedule. Its distance from my house was far enough to warrant extending the trip to add other destinations along the way. I added a run on the Tail of the Dragon as well as activating 3 parks for Parks on the Air. My concern about this trip was a weekend forecast with plenty of thunderstorms. Stand by and I'll tell you all about it. Welcome back and thanks for being here. My name is Scott and it's been a while. My video production is a little slower these days. I feel like my car is done, but it's really not. I'm constantly expanding my amateur radio setup, my ham radio setup, as a lot of people like to call it. And yeah, a lot of my ventures have been leaning in that direction. But I'm still attending car shows and sharing more of a ham radio exhibit. So let me tell you a little bit about the trip as I went along my way. Of course, in the last video, you remember that the car was trash in the back, and it is a little trash in the back yet again. And so I spent a bit of my time after that last video cleaning the car out, cleaning the outside, the inside, and getting it ready for the show. And then it came time to depart and be on my way heading toward Maggie Valley, North Carolina. As I said, I took a couple of detours along the way, and I stopped overnight I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was just east of Knoxville. And that was an overnight so that I could then hit Tail of the Dragon on a weekday morning. I like to do this on weekday mornings. So Tail of the Dragon was my first destination stop. And the Tail of the Dragon has long been a favorite destination for me. Although there are easier and less expensive ways to get photos, road-going photos of my car, Tail of the Dragon is a favorite because professional photographers stage along the 11-mile route, and they just snap photos of everything that passes through. No matter what it is, they shoot it. And their hope is that some driver might see the banner on their tent or something like that and then go check it out and decide they like it and buy a photo of them on this destination road. And their hope is that they sell enough photographs to make being there worthwhile. And I've made plenty of passes on Tail of the Dragon over the years, and every time I go, I purchase a few photos. Sometimes I drive out of my way just to drive Tail of the Dragon so I can get a new photograph of an updated look to my car. This time I drove the Tail so I can get updated photos of the communications setup on my car. For example, this photo here was taken by 129slayer.com. I usually, as I said, make my drive on a weekday morning, and I do that because traffic is light. And as I went through, I approached the first photographer. I remember looking at him and wondering, well, what's he doing? He was just sitting there with his camera in his lap and just watching me approach. But then he just kind of snapped up and started shooting, almost as if he noticed the antennas and decided to try to catch up and say, ooh, that's interesting. But no, sorry, too late, pal, and no sale for you. I did look at the photos, and none of the photos that vendor, there's like 3 stations along the route, none of them caught the entire car with the antennas. Killboy was there as well, and as always, Killboy's photos were among the best. And here are some of the photos that Killboy had taken, and I like Killboy's work. From there, I went to the Fontana Dam Basin, and I had taken some photos there in 2021, and I decided to go back for more with the antennas on the car. And so while I was there, I then drove to the top of the dam and did a POTA activation, a twofer, which includes 2 parks. So Fontana, Tennessee Valley Authority Dam National Recreation Area and Appalachian National Scenic Trail. They both are on top of each other. And so I can do one activation, it'll count as two, which is known as a twofer. Some may point out that it's actually a threefer because both of those entities are inside of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, but that's actually kind of a rookie move because the Tennessee Valley Authority has its own boundary and is legally separate from the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. So what I did is I did my activation at the dam, including the Appalachian Trail. Then I drove across the dam, and so which left the TVA property, but then now I'm in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. And so then I activated the park along with the trail again. So I was able to submit 3 logs for that stop. After all of that, I drove to a town near Maggie Valley for an early check-in at my hotel, and then I unloaded the car because I had a lot of stuff, cleaning supplies and things like that. And then I went to a nearby coin-operated car wash for a rinse and wipe down. As mentioned earlier, the chance of rain was really good, and so I wanted to at least get the car to the venue. If the car was being shown in the rain, that didn't bother me, but I wanted to get it there without driving through the rain, because kicking the road debris up makes the car pretty dirty. And so, a clean car in the rain has beautiful beading paint. It looks good, and it still shows all right. But a dirty car in the rain is just a dirty car. So the next morning I got up and the car was perfectly dry, which means it didn't even rain overnight. I drove to Maggie Valley. That was about 30 minutes, and that drive was peaceful and dry. The line to enter the park was long and kind of slow going, and once I was inside, I could see why that was the case. The venue is very large, and there were a lot of cars on the field even before I showed up. And I got there very soon after the gates had opened, but the line was already pretty long. I spent some time setting up the car and putting up my new displays. And in the past, I had mounted my Scorpion antenna on the hitch with the hatch open. And so to do that, I have to remove it, open the hatch, and then put it back in. But I wanted to be able to close the hatch very quickly if a rain shower erupted or something. So what I did is I had created a mount that allowed me to display the Scorpion beside the car. And ironically, after all of that effort, the forecast rain did not come. Not until after the show field had cleared and I was almost back to my hotel anyway. And then also it was even more. It was about 10 degrees warmer than expected, and the skies cleared in the afternoon. I even got a sunburn, quite possibly the worst sunburn I've had since I was a teenager. It was kind of epic. Now I don't need you to look at my face throughout this entire video, so I am going to share some video of either preps or walkthrough of the show. There were so many cars there, I didn't even see them all. And so I hope that I'm showing you the best, but I'm not going to show you everything because that would just be too much. So I will just pick some stuff and share it with you. And even the organizer, I mean, even for her, she told me later that she didn't see my car either. And my car is kind of hard to miss, but it was out on the outskirts a little bit. So I guess some people didn't make it out there. There were 540 show cars on the field, 35 vendors, and about 2,000 spectators. So this was probably the largest car show I've ever entered. I'm not sure how it compares to VAG Fair in York, Pennsylvania. I've been to that one, or the old bug outs that I had been to as well. Regardless, I knew that getting an award was just off the table. There were a lot of really fantastic cars there, and as well as their displays. So still, I cleaned the car and gave it my best show. Let me link to something up here, my tips for getting a car ready for a show. I might have done okay at a car show that had a breakdown of show car classes and everything, but on the other hand, my GTI is a bit of an oddball at any car show with all this communications equipment. The car saw a lot of curious visitors with plenty of questions, and so compared to my previous 2 communications exhibit, one being at VAG Fair last year and the other one being at Winterfest earlier this year, I heard fewer people ask the question, why do this? And more people ask, what can this do? And one of the most popular questions I get, either at a car show, but really anywhere that I drive the car and people stop me, is, hey, are you a storm chaser? And the answer is no. But even if I get certified by Skywarn, ARES, and CERT, I'm more likely to be a storm watcher than a storm chaser. I like my car too much to subject it to flying debris or trees near a hurricane or tornado. So, yeah, I'm not going to chase anything. And also, remember, I have a cargo trailer. If a strong storm is headed our way, particularly the hurricanes, we're still in hurricane season here, we're packing up and leaving. I'm not sticking around, so off we go. A funny aside to the whole "are you a storm chaser" thing, I don't remember this guy's name. I'll put his name up in the corner here, but he's the weather guy from the Weather Channel, and it's been said that if that man shows up to your town, something bad is about to happen. And so that's what people ask me. When I remember somebody stopped and asked me about my setup, "Are you a storm chaser?" And they were concerned. I thought they thought I had driven to town to start looking for something really bad. And so I was like, no, it's just ham radio stuff. I was scanning the FRS band during the day, and for those of you who don't know, that's what the band is called. That your little, if you go to Walmart and buy a little walkie-talkie, that's what that band is called, the Family Radio Service. Some people actually do get the GMRS license, the General Mobile Radio Service, and that it just allows you to operate at higher power. But some of it is on the same bands as FRS. So I was monitoring that all day. I could hear the show car staff doing their thing. I can hear other families walking around the venue talking on different channels. And on the way out, I was able to hear a couple of conversations that happened, two separate conversations. One of them, I only heard it for just an instant. I heard somebody say, "Hey, I think that's StealthGTI." So at that point, I started paying attention. I turned up my radio and just started listening a little bit better. Later, another pair of drivers approached from behind. They were driving, one of them was in a silver GTI, just like this one, and the other was in a blue Subaru, like a WRX, I think. And I heard, "Hey, I think that's StealthGTI." And the other guy says, no, that guy had a ginger beard. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think I've got a ginger beard. And then I hear, "Yeah, he looked older too." All right, I don't know what those guys were vaping. I guess I am getting a little older, but I don't know. Maybe there was another GTI in town with antennas all over it, and that guy had a ginger beard or something. I don't know. Overall, I think the show was a huge success, both for the organizers and for me. I'm certainly going to plan to go next year. My drive home was uneventful and perhaps a bit boring, since I drive the speed limit with all these antennas on top of the car. They're an attention getter, so I'm not giving any officers a reason to pull me over, so I just drive the speed limit. And so then I got home and cleaned out the car and started getting ready for ARRL's September VHF contest, and that's what's up next. The car is not as clean as it ought to be, but it's pretty close. And so, so I just have to move some stuff out and get ready for the contest. So, I'll have to share a video about that. When I share the video about the contest, that's when I'll tell you more about the stuff on top of the car. So, all right, that's pretty much it for the show. I do have a write-up on my website, but it's pretty much the same thing that I just shared here with you in this video. So, let me know if you have any questions or comments. And as always, I appreciate you being here. See you next time. Take care.